success-free. Today let's see second chapter for class 8 history, that is from trade to territory. As the title denotes, you will study how the East India Company first came to India for trade, slowly started expanding its territory over here, and gradually became the rulers of our country. Let's now discuss the topics in detail. Aurangzeb was the last powerful Mughal ruler. After the death of Aurangzeb, the later rulers proved to be inefficient, and foreign powers got opportunity to establish their rule in India. East India Company comes east. Portuguese were the first Europeans who came to India. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, landed in India in 1498. He arrived at Calicut on the Malabar coast. Portuguese established their presence in the western coast of India and had their base in Goa. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I granted the royal charter to the East India Company to trade with the East. The East India Company bought goods from Indians at a cheap price and sold them at a much higher price in Europe. The fine qualities of cotton and silk produced in India had a big market in Europe. Spices like pepper, clove, cardamom, and cinnamon were in great demand. The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying the same things. Competition among the European companies pushed up the prices of goods purchased, and this reduced the profits of company. The only solution the trading companies think of was eliminating their competitors. They sank each other's ships, blockaded routes, and prevented rival ships from moving with the supplies of goods. The desire to secure markets led to these battles between the trading companies. How East India Company begins trade in Bengal. The first English factory was set up on the banks of the river Hooghly in 1651. The factory had a warehouse where goods for export were stored. By 1696, the company built a fort around the settlement. 2 years later, the company gained zamindari rights over 3 villages. One of these was Calicut, which later grew into the city of Calcutta. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb issued an order granting the company the right to trade duty-free. Company persuaded the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue famine. Famine means a royal order for trade permission. Aurangzeb's famine had granted only the company the right to trade duty-free. Duty-free means to trade without paying the taxes to the local government. But the company was not satisfied, and they tried to press for more concessions and manipulate the existing privileges. The unfair practices of trade gradually led to battles. Let's see how trade led to battles. After the death of Aurangzeb, the Bengal Nabobs asserted their power and autonomy. They refused to grant the company any concessions and stopped it from extending its fortifications. The company was refusing to pay taxes. The conflict led to confrontations and finally led to the famous Battle of Plassey and Buxar. The Battle of Plassey. Ali Khan died in 1756 and Siraj-ud-Dawla became the Nabob of Bengal. The company was worried about his power, so the company tried to help one of Siraj-ud-Dawla's rivals to become the Nabob. Company promised Mir Jafar the Nawabi title after the death of Siraj-ud-Dawla. Then Siraj-ud-Dawla ordered the company to stop interfering in his government's affairs, stop fortifications, and pay taxes. Siraj-ud-Dawla established control over the company's forts at Buxar and Calcutta. On hearing the news, the company officials in Madras sent forces under Robert Clive. In 1757, Robert Clive led the company's army against Siraj-ud-Dawla at Plassey. and he led the company to victory. The main reason for the defeat was that the forces led by Mirjafar never fought a battle. The Battle of Plassey became famous because it was the first major victory the company won in India. Let's see what happened after the Battle of Plassey. After the Battle of Plassey, Mirjafar became the Nawab of Bengal. He was just a puppet in the hands of Britishers. But after some time, when Nawab refused further rights, company replaced him by Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim denied the privileges given to Britishers. This led to Battle of Buxar between Britishers and Mir Qasim in 1764. In the Battle of Buxar, British forces were led by Hector Munro. In this battle, British became victorious. Once again, Mirjafar came to the throne as Nawab of Bengal. When Mirjafar died in 1765, the company decided of becoming Nawab itself. In 1765, the Mughal Emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of Bengal province, and they also got the Diwani rights of Bihar and Odisha. The company received revenue, and it was a great help for buying cotton and silk and also building forts. Company officials became Nabobs. What did it mean? As the company acquired more power and ability, the company officials began to imagine themselves as Nabobs. They wanted to lead a luxurious life like Nawabs of India. The company officials forced the actual Nawabs of Bengal to give land and vast sums of money as personal gifts. Robert Clive had come to Madras from England in 1743. He was appointed as governor of Bengal in 1764 to remove corruption in company administration. He was cross-examined by the British Parliament in 1772 because the Parliament was suspicious of his vast wealth. Finally, he was acquitted from all the charges laid against him, but he committed suicide in 1774. However, not all company officials succeeded in making money like Clive. Many died an early death in India due to disease and war. The officials who managed to return with wealth led flashy life. Yes, let's stop this chapter now. Today we understood how the British settled down and started expanding their territory by bribing and battling with the local administration and natives. I hope you understood today's session. In next part, we will discuss how the company rule expands in India after the Battle of Buxar and how they forced the Indian states into subsidiary alliance. You can subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.